Europe and America are buzzing with news, and we have all the highlights of the week just for you. Let's kick things off with Europe. The energy crisis is making headlines, and governments are taking action to help citizens cope. Across Europe, the scorching summer of 2020 continued to exact a deadly toll. Wildfires fueled by record-breaking heat have killed at least 23 people and forced tens of thousands from their homes across France, Greece, Spain, Turkey, and Cyprus, according to Wikipedia's 2025 European and Mediterranean wildfires entry. The United Kingdom, meanwhile, has entered its fourth official heat wave of the season, with temperatures soaring above 33 degrees Celsius in parts of England. Wikipedia's 2025 European heatwaves page notes that drought conditions have been declared in Wales, while Scotland faces increased wildfire risk. While battling these environmental emergencies, Europe's leaders have also been scrambling to present a united political front. Ahead of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's crucial meeting with U.S. President Donald Trump, heads of state from Germany, France, Italy, and the European Union convened online to coordinate their approach. As Reuters reported, the meeting was intended to reassure Kyiv of Europe's steadfast backing and to counterbalance Washington's more ambivalent tone toward Moscow. The Guardian observed that the consultations highlight unease among European capitals over Trump's evolving stance toward Russia. That unease was also evident in a parallel debate over the United Nations interim force in Lebanon, UNIFIL. The Trump administration announced its intention to end the mission, prompting strong objections from Europe. The Associated Press reported that France, Italy, and the UK fear that a U.S. withdrawal could destabilize southern Lebanon, where tensions remain volatile. Switching gears to America, on the other side of the Atlantic, President Trump's first in-person meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin since the start of the Ukraine war drew intense scrutiny. The Alaska summit, described by Trump as very productive, ended without concrete agreements. The Washington Post noted that critics fear the optics of the meeting will embolden the Kremlin. Meanwhile, Reuters reported that markets reacted nervously to the lack of a breakthrough. Zelensky, aware of the stakes, is preparing to meet Trump in Washington next week. The Guardian reported that several European leaders are rallying behind the Ukrainian president in a show of transatlantic solidarity, even as questions linger over how far the White House is willing to support Kyiv. Back in Washington, Trump has flexed his authority over the Capitol itself. The Washington Post revealed that the president placed the city's police under federal control and deployed National Guard troops in the U Street corridor, where dozens of arrests were made Friday night. Residents and businesses accused the administration of creating an atmosphere of fear despite crime rates being at historic lows. At the national level, tensions over redistricting sparked demonstrations in at least 34 states. According to The Guardian, protesters marched under the banner "Fight the Trump Takeover," denouncing Republican-drawn maps that opponents argue entrench partisan control. California Governor Gavin Newsom has responded by calling a special election to introduce new maps. The same outlet also reported that Trump, under pressure from far-right influencers, abruptly canceled medical visas for children from Gaza, while Florida schools began removing hundreds of books at the start of the academic year. Amid political turbulence, Wall Street kept its attention on the Federal Reserve. Investors are waiting for Chair Jerome Powell's speech at Jackson Hole, which Investopedia reports could hint at upcoming rate cuts as inflation pressures persist. Corporate earnings from retail giants Walmart, Target, and Home Depot are also being closely watched for signs of how tariffs are shaping consumer behavior. Meanwhile, Berkshire Hathaway announced a $1.6 billion stake in United Health, while Applied Materials saw its stock slide on supply-demand concerns. The week's events, stretching from fire-ravaged Mediterranean coastlines to armored vehicles on the streets of Washington, highlight how both continents are grappling with a volatile mix of natural disasters, geopolitical realignments, and political strain at home. As we wrap up this week's news roundup, stay informed and connected. What story caught your attention?